Objection! February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. For fuck's sake, when does this
Looks
end?
like we managed to stay in the game.
When will we be free? Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgy.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
He's a piece of shit, Gummy.
Trying to be polite here, pal.
I know. Detective Gumshoe.
You got kids with you sometimes.
I know.
I'm not a detective anymore, actually.
Oh yeah, it does just say Gumshoe.
It always has said Gumshoe.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. I've already decided where I want to work now. At your office.
My office?
Sure! I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. I don't know her name. She's probably not that important.
Could he mean Maya?
Still, looks like we all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. Notice that he always gets the upper hand.
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Gumshoe actually does wind up working for Phoenix in one of the games.
That's fun.
It's very fun. He's great. Bring back my boy, damn it!
It's not fair he has the
Ace
right
Attorney 7, I need my son.
to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean he...
Oh wait, you mean he forfeits his right to say anything too?
So now he can't speak against anything.
Yep.
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the galley.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for revealing to you that you might have killed somebody by accident.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time...
Oh my god, that's an adorable
I've had blood
phrase.
on my hands. My sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait
No, fuck you! I'm going with you!
Okay.
I'm rude now!
I have character growth!
I want to be there! When Lana tells the truth. I'm laughing at my own joke. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, I'm rude now.
I love that joke so much!
I know. I like men now.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
I like men now.
That's not even what I'm referencing.
No, I know. I know I'm rude now. I'll
be the roundabout.
She's a rude person now. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. When will this end? This is...
They just told you this is the final act.
I know.
Now then, will the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Beedoo.
Ms. Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Ms. Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister!
Yeah, she can't get rid of you that easy. Emma. It's nice to have you at the stand again, or with me again. Emma.
Now
It's nice
then,
to have
your testimony, if you will.
Hey man, if she just keeps rolling that persuasion check, eventually it'll take.
you. Yeah.
First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Get Gant got. Yes.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There is no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Son of a fucking
You
bitch!
heard about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense, of course I'm sure. But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth? She isn't.
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
The
Yeah.
defense may now begin its cross-examination.
I will, Your Honor. Gant and the Fab.
Well, good. That's what I told you to do.
I didn't do it because you told me to. Bitch.
Bitch.
How many years exactly did you work with Gant? Or has it
Ever
been?
since I made
I'm not
senior
sure.
detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years.
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases.
She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia.
Oh, God.
Damon Gant was a truly respectable detective, that's why.
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? I was what the kids refer to as trolling you. Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I didn't break my oath, because I was honest.
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana,
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago?
You say you did this all by yourself.
yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
By who? Lana?
Press the button, please.
What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
It's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
All just to protect me.
So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Like, what I'm imagining is Gant stabbed him and then, like, picked up the vase and dipped it in the blood that was pooling on Marshall's back and just wrote, EMA, and then turned it around, like palming the vase, turned it around and pointed at it and was like, "Hey, Lana, you work for me now."
That would make sense.
Yeah.
It's actually not what happened.
Oh. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife.
What actually happened is a little more dumb.
Oh. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in his wound?
Then you moved the body. But why? Why would you do that?
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
Well, it isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Why did you do that?
Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out.
It's because that's how she would frame Dark for it, but whatever.
Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Sky fabricated the knife.
She didn't fabricate it. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was a murder weapon, right?
Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body.
So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound?
Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did.
So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period.
Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence?
She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying!
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone!
I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction.
It's possible you may have asked the wrong question.
Which one was it? This one?
It was the... Yes, it was that one.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Fuck me. It was the one right before the thing where she's like, I put the knife in him. Or one more, because that was what you just did. So that one.
Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
Pieces of the jar. You mean...
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
So it couldn't have had Emma's name written on it.
I see.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was discovered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written in this jar, on this jar, with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies.
Huh?
In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died.
Ah.
He couldn't have written him a name on a shattered jar. Him a name.
Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message.
Watch your mouth, Edgy.
Fuck you.
That's acceptable, but bloody as fuck in Britain.
We may be missing something critical here.
Something crucial?
Critical. Chief Prosecutor, seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony.
Jar and message in blood. I haven't read the thing for that a couple of times.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
With this muffler, I did.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
That was a lot of not much. So jar was already broken.
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case.
What the fuck? But not as feeble as your judgment, old man.
You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written in the jar pieces?
Normally, I would have.
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Drake killed Prosecutor Marshall...
I've done that multiple times.
Sorry. At least I figured out Maya. You wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
The fragments were large, so sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
But you didn't. Whatever.
Yeah.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene.
Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. think I finally figured out the contradiction in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. How many times am I going to be presenting this jar?
This might be the last one, actually. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's an important thing.
Yeah, it is. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
Oh, because the piece of the jar was probably already in Gant's safe or something. Yeah. We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe.
So that's the thing that kills me, is that you thought that you thought that she walked in and Gant like had the thing and was like, haha, I gotcha. But no. She blackmailed herself, basically. Like, Gant did some stuff, but she thought that Gant just walked in on her and allowed herself to be blackmailed because of that.
Oh my fucking god. So she was the judge with the donut.
A little bit, I guess.
That bullshit, completely ridiculous thing that I mentioned earlier is somehow the plot. God.
I mean, it doesn't functionally change anything, but, like, Gant wasn't lording that over her. She legit didn't know he had any dirt beyond that.
In the chief's safe, but how?